What is the origin story of the gods of Amonkhet? For those who don't know, Amonkhet is the Egyptian-themed plane. But it specifically is a plane that Nicol Bolas, as part of his massive plot to, become a elder god again, corrupted over 1,000 years. At one point, literally killing every person on the plane that was an adult and corrupting the different gods on the plane to best fit his needs of raising a plane up that's goal was to create the most powerful army possible, and that's where his eternal army comes from. But it's pretty heavily established that there were gods that he killed, and the gods we ended up with, the 5 monocolored ones and the 3 two-color ones that are all Grixis colored, are corrupted beings based on not what they used to be, but what they are now. And so my theory in regards to this, of the origin of these gods and other gods, is that this was a much more gold-aligned plane, and Nicol Bolas was lowering their power by lowering which colors they had access to. Killing a bunch of gods, taking 5 of them and turning them into one-color gods, that being the main 5, and then taking 3 of the 3-color gods and turning them into 2-color gods. For example, the Scarab god, a god that is directly tied to the zombie mechanic of this set, would be Esper instead of just straight up blue-black. The Scorpion god, a -1/-1 counter-themed god, an insect and poison-themed god, where a lot of those mechanics were in the green-black space, would be Jund. Leaving the Locust god, the card of drawing cards and discarding cards, to be the sole Grixis option. Nicol Bolas taking these 3 and forcing them to be less powerful, but then also within the colors of his own color pie. This does mean we have 2 other colors in at least the allied, the shard world. Personally, I would hope, and I talked about this in a previous video, that the Bant one would be a hippo god, or maybe a hawk god. That's one of the key Osiris in the original Egyptian mythology is missing. We have a crane, but not a hawk, and that the other color, the other one would being Naya. So one of Naya is one of them, and then hippo and hawk. But this also means that the original 5 gods, this also means that the 5 monocolored gods were 2-color likely, and that there were 5 additional gods that were killed. And to me, it's pretty easy to figure out what they're supposed to be, because they all are attached to a creature type that has very specific color requirements. For instance, Oketra, the cat god, cats were white-green for the most part in the set. Every cat, it's either a cat, white, or green. Ronus, the Indomitable, interesting fact, other than the one zombie one, all of the Naga in the set are blue-green. So I'm guessing he was blue-green. If you remove zombies again from the equation for Hazaret, the Jackal god, oh look, they're all red-green. So she would be red-green. Crocodile's a little bit harder because using my own rule of removing the zombie versions, there's only one black one, but it is a crocodile demon and the other one's a crocodile demon, which makes me feel like black-green is the answer here. If you expand that to lizards, you do get red as well, so it might be Jundish, but 2 of them are green. I'm going to go with red-green. Black-green. I'm going with black-green. And Kefnet, the bird one, where guess what colors the bird creatures are? All the Aven, blue-white, other than the zombie ones, and the random just regular bird. Interesting feature here, though, the type of bird that Kefnet is, the crane, are all blue ones, and then all the white ones are hawks. And I do think hawk, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the main missing gods. Now, the only 2-color group that's like very blatantly missing is red-black, and that is for the Minotaur. So a sheep, ram, or goat, or bull, or cow-headed god would be the red-black one that we don't know. Of course, the hippo and hawk ideas could very easily be a 2-color option, because all of the 2-color options are like animals with skeletons, and then all of the current gold ones, 3-color ones, the Bolas ones, are all like insects. But which gods would you like to most see? Personally, I think that if we were to return to Amonkhet, a lot of that would be about kind of finding some of these old gods that were lost. Maybe even they're still alive and locked into some type of prison situation. The fact that there is kind of this setup. When Wizards of the Coast made this set, they kind of established there's 2 versions of Egypt that you can explore based on fictional tropes. The first one is ancient Egypt, the golden age of Egypt. And that's kind of what we got, right? Where the kingdom was thriving. The other option is a more Indiana Jones, The Mummy, ancient, ruins, etc. vibe. And they were like, we can save that for later. And they conveniently, in the story of the set of Nicol Bolas basically causing an apocalypse, created the opportunity to allow that to be an option. the survivors of that apocalypse are now out in the desert looking for ancient homes and cities that they used to inhabit to figure out what the truth of their past is. And at the same time, we have recently introduced Quintorius, who is a literal Indiana Jones-esque surveyor of ruins, discovery of ancient ideas, who could, using his spirit magic, resurrect some of the gods, at least as statues, to be able to talk towards what was going on back in the day. Easily, I think, just like slam dunk way to figure all this stuff out. Let's go.